Hi everybody, I'm here for Freshly Voice of YA Excerpt vlog, and also whatever we ended up calling that Friday mem thing, because I'm recording this actually on the day that I first posted the thing, which was I think the 9th or something like that. So, anyway, but this week I'm doing it as part of Freshly Voice of YA. You've already seen the one for Shadow Hills by Anastasia Hopkins. And today I'm going to be reading from Siren by Tricia Rayburn. And I finished this book just today, the 9th, I guess is what it is. And it was really good. So if you've seen it in stores, first of all, just go see it for the cover, because I saw a finished copy of it and it looked amazing. It's got like the eyes up here, they're all like, I want to say holographic, but they're not really, I don't know how to, they're shiny. So, you know, that's always exciting. And, yeah. So, and then of course to get the book, once you've admired the cover, because the story within is really good. So I'm going to be starting a little bit starting on page 131. And a storm has just come through, like horrible, like winds of like 70 miles per hour or something, I don't know, and like a bunch of hail and stuff. It was just oof. It's like horrible. So anyway, go ahead and get started. I followed him outside. The military had apparently done something right when they built Camp Heroin. There was no physical evidence of what had just transpired, besides a fresh layer of leaves and twigs blanketing the dirt path. The fake steeple still stood atop the fake church, and the rest of the buildings had survived just as well. "Do you mind if I get a few measurements before we keep looking?" Simon asked. "It'll take 3 minutes tops." Excuse me. They're there, because they're on the search for, Vanessa and Simon are on the search for Simon's brother Caleb, who's gone missing, and this is kind of one of their adventures, I guess, one of the places they go to, because Caleb had called them from like a payphone there or something like that. So, and they traced the call and all that fun stuff. So, of course, go ahead. He looked like he was going to say something else, but then turned and started down the bluff. I stayed close behind. The bluff was steep, but sandy instead of rocky, which made the trek fairly easy. When we made it to the beach, he pulled a small notebook and plastic case from his backpack and jogged to the water. The ocean hadn't recovered from the storm as quickly as the sky, and waves still pummeled the shore. Keeping an eye on Simon, I stayed near the bluff to avoid the spray. He took several samples and scribbled in his notebook. 3 minutes turned into 5, and then 7, and then 9. After 10 minutes, I walked a few yards down the beach, turning every few feet to make sure he was still there and okay. Reaching a low group of rocks that would give me perfect views of him and the water, I stepped carefully across them and sat down. I closed my eyes and tilted my head toward the sun. I had to get it together. A lot had happened and continued to happen, but that didn't mean I could just let it drag me out and pull me under. Whatever I was feeling for Simon was natural, considering how much time we were spending together in strange circumstances. I would feel the same way about a fireman who pulled me from a burning house, or a policeman who recovered my purse from a thief. The feelings would return to normal eventually. I opened my eyes when the cool ocean water reached the toes of my sneakers, and keeping it together was no longer an option. "Simon," I whispered. I wanted to yell, to scream his name at the top of my lungs. I wanted to jump off the rocks, charge up the bluff, and get as far from Camp Heroin as possible. And if I couldn't manage any of those things, I wanted to close my eyes and open them again later, hours later, if necessary, after the tide had retreated and taken with it everything it now slid around the sand I sat only 10 inches above. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't do any of it. My entire body was frozen, as if encased by a thick block of hail. "Simon," I tried again, my lips barely moving. "Simon." I don't know how he heard me, but he was by my side in seconds. "Vanessa, what?" And then he froze too. A lifeless arm attached to a lifeless body stretched from the water toward the rocks. The body was face down, but it was clear from the build that it was a man. Simon? I breathed, my eyes filling with tears. It's not... No, he said, his voice grim. It's too big, and Caleb doesn't wear a watch. My eyes managed to move from the purple hand to the swollen wrist, where a thick silver band glinted in the sun like beach glass. A second later, a tall wave crashed on shore, sending the runoff streaming past the rocks, and the victim turning on his back. I turned away, and Simon's arms were around me, pulling me off the rock and away from the man. What's wrong with him? I whispered into his shoulder as tears ran down my cheeks. What's wrong with his face? He tightened his arms around me and rested one hand on the back of my head to keep me from turning again and seeing anything more. Let's go. We'll call the police from the car. Simon didn't have to worry about my seeing anything more. I'd already seen too much. As police and ambulance sirens howled toward Camp Heroin, I slid down the passenger seat of the Subaru, closed my eyes and thought of Mom, Dad, Justine, Paige, Zara, Betty's, the lake house, anyone and anything that would keep me from seeing it again. The man, whoever he was dead. Done. Gone. Washed up like a fish. And when he turned over, his eyes were wide open and his mouth was stretched in a wide smile, like he was happy about it. So you got the end of, I think, chapter 10. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope that you guys can hear me because I'm sure that something went wrong and I wasn't speaking loud enough or anything. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please, please go out and buy a copy of this book. It is amazing. And it's pretty original. I think I've never read any other books about, well, I think you kind of pretty much know what's inside. But, so I'm hoping that I'm not spoiling anything for anybody, but yeah, but it's a very good, interesting, compelling book. So, yeah. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Again, I've told you like 3 million times. Hopefully, I think I'm doing a Mr. Linky with, where other people can put all of their links to their own excerpt vlogs today, and so hopefully there should be one below the video on my blog. So if not, just leave it in the comments or something. Just put it somewhere. So, alrighty. I'll see you guys later. Bye.